This is how we get down. What's good, everybody? Welcome in to a Tuesday edition of Coaching Company here on Stadium and Valley Sports Live, presented as always by the Four-Letter Word Club, the most exclusive club in all of golf, and it's not close. More details to come on that. Now, last night was a ton of fun on Monday Night Football. Our picks, not so much. Now, we started off great. Had the live show, hit 2 during the first half of the Bills and the Falcons, and then things just didn't go the way the narrative of the show. So I will deal with my crew, and I will deal with Raphael shortly, as the Falcons came out last night, and they showed that they are a legitimate team. More on that coming up a little bit later in the show. Now, busy schedule as always. Here on Tuesdays, we look ahead to the biggest games in Week 7 in the NFL. Also, our fantasy look ahead, and we sound off over the course of the next 60 minutes. Also, best bets. Also, if you missed any of our content on Monday, the Coach and Bro Show, I just looked at the numbers at our YouTube page. They are just growing and growing. I encourage you to go back and watch all of our shows on demand. And you can also become a premium member, because Wednesday and Thursday of this week, we're going to have a little premium pop-up. That means live betting, football, Major League Baseball playoffs. We've got it all. Then next Tuesday, the NBA starts. So you're going to have NBA live betting as well. So it's a lot of fun hanging out, and it pays for itself. And oh, by the way, if you buy a piece of merchandise at our brand new merch store and you send us a picture, we will get it up on the show just as soon as we possibly can. And I Bet Wrestling, I'm telling you, we had Coaching Company and BTT represented at Crown Jewel earlier this week as one of our people who bought a piece of merch. He was at Crown Jewel. We're going to have that up very, very soon. Smartest Mark Alive, I think. Smartest Mark Alive, I think is his name. All right, housekeeping is over. My guys are like, Coach, stop talking and bring us in, and let's have some fun. Educate, entertain, laugh, and learn. You're damn right. You hear that? It's time to beat the books. Let's go. All right, look at this motley crew that I have today. And I'm not going to start with Raphael, who had the 2 X's. I'm not going to start there. I'm not going to start with Soupy, who his Giants had a big win over the Eagles. I'm not going to start there. I'm not going to start even on the campus in Dallas-Fort Worth, as clearly somebody is going on a job interview later today. No, not going to start there. We're going to start with the man who last night had for about 15 minutes as he was waiting to see if his Chicago Bears were going to be able to pull it out late night on Monday Night Football. Alas, they got it done on the road. So today, our first 15 seconds goes to our man, Mikey P. The floor is yours.
Morning, Coach. Morning, guys. Just another day. It's just one win in a 17-game win or 17 season. So I'm not too concerned. I'm not overhyped. Just on to next week.
That was it.
I'm tame and chill.
Tame and chill.
Tame and chill.
You're tame and chill.
I'm tame and chill.
Raphael, have we ever seen somebody waste the first 15 seconds worse than that right there?
I couldn't agree more. I mean, I was in the lounge for the second time yesterday, and I didn't get the 15 seconds, but we had to tame and chill and listen to that.
Wait, so you're going to brag about you and Marky Model getting in for a second time last night, which, by the way, it should bug all of you. It should bug all. And Soupy, I know you're in. Mikey, I know that you were in watching your phone because the other game was late. But Peyton, you're not in. I'm not in. How did it feel, Raphael, to now have a +1 in the lounge?
I realized this game is pretty easy. I came in, it wasn't even fun going in. It was like they all knew my name. I felt like cheers. Like I walked in like, hey, Raphael, numbers guy. I mean,
that's how they sounded? That's not what I heard. I don't know where you were, but that was not the lounge, Raphael.
You weren't there. You were watching the game still.
All right. Boys, we can joke all we want, and we will. However, 3-6 yesterday, Raphael, and you contributed to that mightily, I might add. So we got to have a laser focus today. Throw the headache out the window. Raphael, I'm coming over to you, big dog, because I want you to lead us out today. Let's go. Best bets. Where are we headed?
Jeez, I'm hoping the Brewers can just get 6.5 hits in 2 games because I had over 6.5 hits yesterday. But my first one, we're going to college football. Yes, there's 3 college football games today. We're taking the Arkansas State Red Wolves team total over 24.5. The total is 58.5. We'll probably see this one creep up to close to 60, so both teams will score. South Alabama has given up 30 points or more in every game they played this year. I think Arkansas State easily hits 24.5. And then we're going to hockey. The first time I get to say this, the Dallas Stars 3-way, minus 135 on the line. You can see either say 3-way, some books have 90 or 90-minute regulation that says both ways. It's just the same thing. Minnesota played last night in overtime, 4-3 victory. Now they have to travel and go to Dallas to play the Stars, they're playing their first home opener. I think Dallas wins this pretty easily.
8 games on the docket tonight. Raise of hands of anyone who thinks Raphael actually knows what that means. No one?
Dallas Stars on the 3-way or 3-way?
B.
You guys don't know who I am. Over?
Oh, clearly we don't. Maybe we don't want to. All right, great start on the ice and on the gridiron tonight. I can already smell it. You know, you walk into that college stadium with a 2-4 team playing a 1-5 team, and they're barely making the hot dogs, but you can smell them. You can smell them 2 blocks away when you're parking on the street. That's a Tuesday. That is action. That is a lot of college football right now. All right, Raphael, good start, big dog. Good start. All right. Who wants the smoke? All right, Bears boy, Mr. Tame and Chill, go.
Give me FIU and Western Kentucky first half, total over 28.5. Western Kentucky only allows 22 points per game, but they scored 34. So with that math, I know math is mathing, but give me FIU and Western Kentucky to score over 28.5 in the first half. And then Arkansas State and Alabama. If it's college football on a Tuesday, it means their matchups are not great, which means there should be a lot of points scored. So give me Arkansas State and South Alabama over 58.5. Why? Because it's college football on a Tuesday. There should be more points than fans in attendance in this one.
Oh, it's gonna be brutal. It's that really hard, bleachers that are super gray and bounce off the lights. Oh, I love Tuesday football. All right, Soupy, big dog, my East Coast guy. Where are we headed today?
I'm also going to Western Kentucky and FIU, but I'm going with the Hilltoppers to cover it. -10. They're a very well-balanced team with the run and the pass. And over their last 5 games, they've covered the spread against FIU in 4. And while FIU, they're a great run team, they cannot pass. So if Western Kentucky gets ahead by a couple of possessions and FIU has to try to go to the air, they're not going to be able to do it. And that's why I think Western Kentucky covers. And then I'm going to game 2 of the NLCS. Give me Yoshinobu Yamamoto under 1.5 earned runs. He's a better pitcher on the road, 2.13 ERA, 0.89 whip. And right now, the Brewers, man, they cannot score any runs, just 6 runs in the last 4 games. I think that continues tonight.
Oh my God. Can you try that one more time?
Yoshinobu Yamamoto.
Oh my God.
Yes, I know I messed up.
Did you? Did you? Sorry. Oh my God, you killed me. I was just waiting too. I was like getting ready to start a race. I was like, you took a risk?
I took a risk in taking Yamamoto. I took a risk in taking Yamamoto. I knew it.
That was a risk. Oh, woo. All right, Peyton, you got to help a brother out here, big dog. You got to help a brother out. Producer, man, you got to take me off. I'm going to mute myself. Peyton, you're up. Go ahead. Oh,
You could have just said Yoshi, or something. Whatever. We're going with the 2-leg parlay. Okay, we're going with the Stars on the money line because I don't like three ways. We're taking two home teams tonight. My Dallas Stars, who are coming off 2 off days, they're hosting the Minnesota Wild tonight, who just went to overtime about 12 hours ago in Minnesota. They got to fly here and play the best team in the league in Dallas. Parlaying that with the Toronto Maple Leafs on the money line. They're hosting the Nashville Predators. Nashville's terrible. They're not going to be any good this year, but they haven't lost a game in regulation yet. I think they do so tonight on the road playing a back-to-back. And how about my Brewers taking game 2 tonight? Freddie P on the mound at plus money. I mean, what are we doing? The Dodgers have more strikeouts than hits against him. His ERA at home this year was 1.77. How do you not take Milwaukee tonight? We got them on the money line at plus 104.
If anybody stayed up late last night, the Dodgers almost blew it. I mean, Blake Snell was amazing. I mean, as dominant. And this is always what happens. You let him go 8 innings. All right, big dog, we got you. Great job. We got a 2. And then they almost blow it. They couldn't touch him all night, and they take him out? For what reason? Do you agree, Peyton? For what reason did they take him out last night?
You think I agree with what Dave Roberts has to say? Of course I don't. Oh, my goodness. The 9th inning, I mean, he just threw 8 scoreless, gave up 1 hit, struck out 10, and you're telling him he's done? How does Blake Snell even let that happen? He should say, Coach, who do you have down there that's better than me? You see Roki Sasaki come out of the bullpen? Like, no.
That's so true. I said that, I'm like, these guys, they overthink it. They outthink themselves. And as he's sitting there watching just one runner after another go in the 9th and going, oh, my God, what did I do? With Blake over there going, all right, Soupy, I want to thank you for really cleansing my soul this morning. I really, really appreciate that. So thank you. Mike, you're looking very, very stoic over there right now. You're very, very focused. What's going on?
I'm just locked in on the show this morning. That's all.
You're locked in on the show this morning?
Yeah.
Can you be locked in and chill though? Like focus?
Yeah, I know. I mean, I don't know if you tame and you throw in Netflix and I mean, it's a lot going on right now. I will say this, that I was thinking about you last night, and I was thinking about just the emotion that must have been going through your veins every time they got the ball back and couldn't do anything with it down 2. You did feel at some point you were not going to win that game, didn't you?
Yeah, it felt normal, but I said this coming off of the Raiders when they had the blocked field goal. This is the first time, and now 2 games in a row, where I'm like, maybe we have a chance. Maybe Ben Johnson is making this team believe in themselves instead of just going, we're going to lose it here in the final 3 minutes. So they're a team that's fighting till the end, and it's 3 games in a row, but there's a lot of season left, so I'm not getting too high or too low.
And Soupy, on the other side, the Commanders were a playoff team last year, and now they find themselves behind the 8 ball.
And kind of that happens when you have that sophomore season with Jaden Daniels. The schedule gets harder, and that's what it is. The schedule's gotten harder. They're getting challenged more, and now the teams know that this is a good team, and their opponents are going to bring the best, and this is what's happening.
No doubt about it. Washington now is 3-3. Philadelphia, first place at 4-2, despite getting bounced hard by your Giants. All right, gentlemen, well done. Good start. So we get to the finish line. All right, still to come here on the show in 20 minutes. We start to look ahead. It's never too early. Remember last week, the numbers were moving 2-3 points in the 3 or 4 days during the weekly show. So we jump ahead to week 7 today. Also coming up on the other side, we sound off some of the best sound from this past weekend, and also our fantasy look ahead for either fantasy football or props, perhaps. We got a lot to get to. It's a Tuesday. I'm feeling good right here, Coach and Company on Stadium. And also Bally Sports Live. Come on back. All right, all of you degenerates watching on our YouTube channel. By the way, if you haven't hit that like button on your way in, go ahead and do that for me. I'd really appreciate it. All right, gentlemen, the MVP race after last night has flipped. Raphael, I got to start with you because now number 15 in Kansas City, he is your betting favorite. Patrick Mahomes at plus 185. Josh Allen, did not play well last night. He's dropped to plus 300, and then you got Baker Mayfield plus 350. Does this make sense right now?
Yes, it does. If you look at the schedule, you have Rice coming back from Kansas City. Patrick Mahomes is playing like Patrick Mahomes. And then Tampa Bay has to play the Lions this week, who are coming off a bad loss. So you do the equation and do it that way with tickets coming in. We had to make Patrick Mahomes the favorite right now.
Okay. Peyton, do you agree with Patrick being the betting favorite?
I do agree. However, I first thought you were talking about the MLB MVP and hoping that Big Cal Raleigh was going to jump into the front leaderboards. But I'm just dreaming over here. But no, of course, I think Patty Mahomes should be number one. I mean, you look around him, his first couple games didn't have any guys to throw the ball to, and he's still finding a way to get his team to win some games. He's the most valuable player in the league right now.
Mikey, what about you?
I understand the trend towards Patrick Mahomes, but I'm sticking with Baker Mayfield as my MVP favorite. And if he beats the Lions on Monday Night Football, I think he'll move to the number one.
Soupy?
I 100% agree that if Baker Mayfield wins, he should be, because there's not going to be a Mecca Ibuka. There's no Chris Godwin. There's no Mike Evans. There's no Bucky Irving. If he could get a win against the Lions, I would put him number one.
By the way, I believe that I buried the lead last night, gentlemen, because Raphael, didn't the man sitting next to you say if the Bears won last night that he would do something? Was it last night?
I do believe so.
Really? What did you say last night there, Mikey P, big mouth boy?
Within the next few weeks, I will be getting good, better, best tattooed on me. Ben Johnson's post-game victory quote. We're going to get it.
Good, better, best. And sir, so why are you getting this? Oh, we won a random Monday night game in October, and I decided to run my mouth and do this. No, it wasn't the Super Bowl. It wasn't the conference championship. No. Monday against the Commanders in Washington. We're back in 5 seconds. Oh, we are back having a great day here on Coaching Company on Stadium and Bally Sports Live. And I apologize to everybody out there in our universe. Producer man, if you don't mind, could you bring Mikey P up onto the screen, please? Because I completely forgot in my touting him and his team at the start of the show. I failed to say one of the really great things that came out of the Bears win last night. So, Mikey, last night on the Monday Night Grind, when you were ruining my flow, you interrupted at one point to tell the world something you were going to do if the Bears pulled out the win last night on what date was it? Oh, October 13th, 2025. What would that be, Mikey? You can tell the whole universe now.
You know what, Coach? I don't care if it's Friday the 13th, Monday the 13th, and Washington Monday Night Football week 6 or week 60. Sometimes I just like motivational quotes in life, and sometimes they come from my favorite football team's head coach. So I said if the Bears got revenge from that 2024 awful loss, I would get the words good, better, best. Head coach Ben Johnson's victory game quote tattooed on me, and I'm going to do it because sometimes it's not about how you win or where you win. It's about are you good? Are you better? And are you the best?
Hey, and guess what? For the rest of your life, you'll be able to tell yourself that every single morning when you look back at your buttocks and going, why did I get a tattoo there? Interesting. But congratulations to your Bears. On that note, it's now time to sound off.
We play the game in between the whistles. They can do all the extracurricular stuff they want to do, but we play the game in between the whistles. We thought we played a great game today, and we'll keep this momentum moving forward.
I love Brian Branch, but what he did is inexcusable, and it's not going to be accepted here. It's not what we do. It's not what we're about. I apologize to Coach Reed and the Chiefs and and Schuster. That's not okay. That's not what we do here, and it's not going to be okay. He knows it. Our team knows it, and so that's not what we do.
Is this kind of like a message?
Oh, for sure. They got to buckle up. I think they know for sure.
Rico, if your message last week was buckle up to the Cowboys, what's your message after the game?
They weren't buckled up.
Shador, I can't wait to go see him play. You know, can't wait to. And he's like, when you coming to a game? I said, when you play. What am I going to come and see you sit? I can watch that on TV. I'm not going to see you sit. When you play, I'm coming.
Well, this next game is always the most important game just because it's a divisional game also. But just the rankings that we got going on, the standings where we at right now. We know the Steelers going to try to come in and raw dog us and kill us, but we're going to be ready for that challenge, and we're going to be waiting for it.
I'll tell y'all a funny story. This is crazy. When I score and I hit MVP chant, I'm thinking they talking about me. So I asked Shep. I'm like, Shep, they was chanting MVP? And he was like, yeah. I was like, I ain't do nothing this year. And then he was like, they talking about Baker, Tez. And I was like, well, that explains it. But he is the MVP. The one he got the first down on, he said he blacked out. But, I mean, that's just Baker. The pump fake get everybody. I'm just like, oh, my God, he's a dog. Like, I don't know what he put in his cereal before the game. Like, but that guy on it every single week.
I mean, if I weighed 142 pounds, I'd probably be able to fly too, but I haven't weighed that since probably 6th grade. I don't know.
I mean, you're going to have, people that are supporting cookies over brownies all the time, right? It's part of the business.
Cookies over brownies. It's part of that was a good one, Mikey. Well done. Well done. That's hilarious. At some point, Patrick Mahomes is going to hit puberty. We don't know when. At some point, he's going to hit puberty. And teams raw dogging it out there. I don't know. So we'll leave that lie. Oh, God, I love sound off every single week. It's so great. Can't wait for next week. All right, gentlemen, it's never too early to start looking at our fantasy, to start looking at our props for the week. So, producer man, I need Raphael in the chat. I need my man, Peyton, right next to me. We're going to go right down the list with player number 1 on what we're looking at this week. Peyton, where are you starting, sir?
Yeah, we'll start with Kimani Vidal.
Because I'm an idiot. Producer man's like, what are you doing? Don't waste my work. 1 second, guys. It's time for the fantasy forecast. Look who appears. If you do it the right way, it happens to go the right way. Producer man, on me. Now, Peyton, what's your first player today?
We're starting Kimani Vidal in week 7. A win for the Chargers last week, who found themselves relying heavily on this guy, a guy they cut after this season's training camp. He had 124 yards rushing on just 18 carries. That's 6.9 yards per carry. He also had a touchdown catch in the third. In a PPR league, that's huge. And now with Omarion Hampton on injured reserve, missing at least 3 more games, that means more opportunities for the former 6th-round pick out of Troy, Kimani Vidal.
And for me, I'm looking at who is the new wide receiver 1 in Tampa Bay. That's Tez Johnson, the guy who thought everyone was chanting MVP for him. There is no Emeka Egbuka. There is no Chris Godwin. There is no Mike Evans. There's no Bucky Irving. So Rachaad White is your lead back in Tampa Bay, but Tez Johnson's a speedster. He had the electric catch for a touchdown. Tez Johnson, your wide receiver 1 in Tampa Bay.
Let's talk about another new wide receiver 1. It's a guy that has been in this spot before. It is Devontae Adams. I think he's going to be a top 10 wide receiver starting now with Puka Nacua out for the next couple of games. Adams, he's been getting 20 targets per game in an offense that is 9th in pass play percentage. Adams is about to go big.
And who does he play for right now?
He plays for the Los Angeles Rams.
Thank you very much. All right, player number 2. Peyton, where are you headed?
Hot take alert. Start Justin Fields week 7, baby, okay? I know he's been terrible. I know the Jets are hot garbage, but they're going to get their first win this week at home hosting the Panthers because Justin Fields will have himself a day. He just got sacked 9 times against the Broncos. He's a little pissed off. And why not do it against the Carolina Panthers, who allowed an average of 31 points per game the last 3 games? We're going to see week 1 Justin Fields this week when he had 2 rushing and a passing touchdown against Pittsburgh. Start Justin Fields this week in week 7.
I'm looking at a Chicago Bears superstar from their Monday night win, DeAndre Swift. Pump the brakes. Do not go all in on DeAndre Swift. I understand he's the hot trend because he had one big game. He's had two big games since joining the Bears. Both came against the Washington Commanders. I do not believe in DeAndre Swift yet. So before you start trying to trade for him and pick him up on your team, slow your roll.
I'm excited about the return for Jalen Coker for the Panthers this weekend. This is going to be the guy who's going to be able to stretch the field for the Panthers. Last year, 14.9 yards per catch. That was top 20 amongst receivers with a minimum of 40 targets. And Panthers are going to get a ton of people back. They're getting Jadavion Sanders back, Chuba Hubbard. This is going to be a really good offense the next few weeks.
Wow. Okay. How does nobody, because maybe this is just me, that whatever's fresh in my mind I like to lean into, how does nobody touch on Bijan Robinson, who had the best week of anybody out there last night? No one? No one?
He's the best player in the game. If there is no way you could trade for him, you would have to give all of your assets to get a guy like him, and you already picked him. I picked him up in the leagues I got him. I had to get him either number 1 or 2.
Okay.
Coach, what am I going to say? Start Bijan Robinson? I mean, come on.
Well, I thought sometimes we throw in extra, like, hey, maybe not for fantasy, but maybe for a prop. You can get a little creative. Good. Yeah, go ahead, Mikey.
I got great advice for people. Make sure when you're in your draft, you don't draft Brian Robinson, because now you're sitting there with a backup to a backup. It's Bijan Robinson, the best running back in the game right now.
The 8th time we've used that joke. But the first time in the last month, so I'm going to let you slide. That was a hilarious video. That was such a funny video when the idiot realized he had the number 1 pick in his draft, and he was bragging to all his boys, yeah, I got my dog. Yeah, your dog is Brian Robinson there, idiot boy. That was hysterical. All right, let's go around. We got a couple minutes left. When it comes to fantasy, when you get to week number 7, I'm not a big fantasy guy. What is the most important thing right now? Is there a trade deadline? Are you looking to make changes? What do you do, Peyton?
Well, with me sitting at 4-2 currently, I'm pretty happy with where I am right now, Coach. Feeling pretty good. I'm gonna keep my guys, or most of my guys. If someone just had I'm the guy who gives the man a second chance. You know, if the guy had a bad week, come back for me next week. All right.
Mikey, what about you? What's your philosophy when you get to almost halfway through the season?
I think when you're halfway through the season, you're looking at how good can you be on waiver wire transactions. You have bye weeks coming up. There's always going to be injuries, so new players with new opportunities. If you're paying attention to your bye weeks, you should be paying attention to the waiver wire instead of being that guy who goes, oh, man, I forgot this team was on a bye. Let me scramble the free agency real quick.
Which is exactly why I don't do fantasy. I'm that guy going, oh, wait a second. Michael Penix was off this week? Oh, I just started him. How many people still do that, Soupy? How many?
Oh, there are so many people. I've played in matchups where the guy has got like 3 people on a bye. I'm like, I can lose him this week. But that always ends up being the week where my team just underplays and I'm like still sweating it out. It's always that time.
Yeah, one of my best friends is Steve Scott. He's the guy that famously told Tiger Woods to move his mark back in their match years and years ago, that he would have beaten Tiger Woods. And he even wrote a book about it. And I always wonder, would I tell an opponent that he's playing 3 guys, or you just keep your mouth shut? Mouth shut? Boop, 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 boop. Okay. It's diabolical, boys. That is diabolical. All right. Great job on the fantasy look ahead. Coming up on the other side, it's never too early. That's what we do here on Tuesdays. We pick out 4 or 5 of the biggest games in the National Football League, because last week, at least 3 of our featured games moved 2.5 to 3 points. That matters, especially in the league. Also, coming up, a big game tonight, Dodgers and the Brewers. You're getting the Dodgers for less than 30 cents. We're going to talk about it right here coming up in about 20 minutes. This is Coach and Company. It's a Tuesday. It's a vibe on Stadium and Bally Sports Live. All right, our degenerates continue on our YouTube channel. And Raphael, James Franklin, he's going to get $45 to $50 million in his buyout at Penn State. but he could potentially just sit out and not coach and not do anything, right? He could do that.
He could, but have you seen some of the job openings that are going to be here? We got Virginia Tech, UCLA, Indiana could be open, Vanderbilt could be open, Florida is going to be open. There's some key universities that are going to be looking for a name head coach, and Franklin could be that name.
Now, in the offset language, whenever a person gets a big buyout, they have to look like they're looking for other employment. But let's be honest, they don't really have to. Soupy, why in the world of college football, you get a $49 million buyout, would you go out and coach the next season at a smaller place that it's harder to get players?
Yeah, I don't understand why he would do it. That's why I think he's going to, quote unquote, interview for some of the bigger jobs. I think ultimately he is going to take a broadcasting job, maybe do that for a year, just get his feet wet in that game, and then he could probably look for another coaching job.
I didn't even realize he was at Penn State for 12 years. It felt like 3 or 4 just because he never beat a top 5 team. Peyton, why would he coach next year if he doesn't have to?
He can't, because that's the second biggest buyout in the history of college football. But Adidas just signed a 10-year, $300 million deal with Penn State, so Adidas will be paying most of that buyout. But Penn State giving UCLA their first win of the year, he shouldn't have come out of the locker room after halftime of that UCLA game, and then he goes and loses to Northwestern.
It was embarrassing. Mike, I'll look at it from the other side. Why would you want James Franklin if you're one of these smaller schools? Big games, he can't win.
You know what? There's a school not too far from me, Coach, where they poached a very known name in the college basketball world, and that's University of Arkansas. Woo pig. I just think James Franklin, you're not really going to upset anybody there in Arkansas, so I guess you could just be a failure there too.
Did you say whoop pig?
I said woo pig.
I believe it's pig suey.
Yeah,
I believe this. Woo pig.
Another tattoo right there.
We're back in 5 seconds. Welcome back, everybody. We're on the other side. If you're watching us live, it's 10:32 in the East, just 7:32 out here in the West. Just getting up, having some breakfast, maybe a little bit of cereal, hanging out with us here every single weekday morning. Now, it is week 7 starting today in the NFL. It goes by so fast every single year, and it's never too early. Injuries, numbers that might be a little bit off, a lot of those things, which is why we look ahead every single Tuesday. So, Raphael, I got to see your face because you always bring me a couple of cool little nuggets that I can start my week with. Where are we going today?
We'll go to the first one, Pittsburgh and Cincinnati. This number's already moved a 1.5. Pittsburgh now 5.5, opened up at 4. This will be a solid 6. It's a Thursday game, pretty much the only thing going on besides one NFL game, I think one baseball game on that same schedule. Pittsburgh teaser, Pittsburgh money line, and let's face it, they're playing the Bengals with no quarterback besides on the roster. So Pittsburgh Steelers would probably be close to a 6.5 point favorite when kickoff.
Wow. So basically, if you put Pittsburgh into a teaser, you would basically just need them to win the game, correct?
Correct.
Right, if they're right around that number. Okay.
The total's 42.5. Be very careful with this one. I think this one moves up a little bit. I can see an under type game with Pittsburgh. So if you get 43, I think that's when you look at the under.
I think that we're thinking about a premium pop-up show Thursday. So we could be doing some live betting Thursday night. So yep. I think that'd be pretty cool. All right, Raphael, thank you as always. All right, bring the boys on. We got to jump right into it. And we're going to start with a Sunday morning game, boys, and that is the Rams and the Jags. Several games overseas this year that I don't really – and I'm not even going to do a trans. We're going to go right into it, producer man. So I want to start Rams and Jags because the Jags are coming off a game where everybody thought, okay, they beat the Chiefs. We're going to beat Seattle at home. That didn't happen. So they now have 2 losses, and the Rams went to Baltimore. And I'm assuming, guys, they did not go back home because they were on the road probably. So they're going to be on the road for 2 straight weeks. That matters. They're laying 3. Peyton, let me start with you. Should the Rams be 3-point favorites over the Jags?
I think they should be. I don't think they played very well in Baltimore, especially in the first half. They did not score much at all. I really thought they would steamroll the Ravens, who had really struggled defensively. That's been the Ravens' talk, how bad their defense has been, and the Rams hadn't scored that much on them. So a little worrisome on their offensive side, especially with Puka out now. But I think they should be favored by 3 points against the Jaguars.
Yeah, that Puka injury is going to be interesting because he's the heartbeat of this team. And Soupy, as I come over to you, the Jags are all of a sudden in a division that is so much better record-wise than we thought. They cannot afford to lose 2 in a row.
They can't, and I think this is actually wrong. I think the Jacks should either be a pick 'em or slightly favored. I like this Jacks team. They lost to a legit Seattle team. The Rams should have blown out Baltimore even without Puka Nacua. They went from Cooper Rush to Tyler Huntley. The Ravens did. I think the Jags are better. I think and the Jags are used to playing in London. They know how to do this, so I think they're going to come away with a win.
Okay, Mikey, when I look at it, 4-2, the Colts are 5-1. We never could have thought this, but this is all of a sudden a very vital game for the Jags.
It is, but they're going to be without their top defender and Devin Lloyd, who's already been ruled out for this game. The Rams have been very slow on offense, as Peyton mentioned. I do believe this is a get-right opportunity for their offense. And, Coach, to your point earlier, they stayed in Baltimore and were practicing at, I forget the name of the field, but where the Orioles play. I know it as Camden Yards. So they started there, and they'll go to London. So they're not going all over the world to travel. So smart on them. I think it helps them.
It's really smart. I think it's also smart not to go overseas where it's 5 hours and go over Wednesday or Thursday. I went to Europe a lot. The body clock thing is a real thing. It's a real thing. All right, game number 2. And you talk about getting right. I feel like the Chiefs got right Sunday night against the Lions. And now they have the Raiders. They're going to be a big-time favorite. And now all of a sudden, young Peyton, with the Bills losing last night, having 3 losses doesn't seem as daunting as it did before when you're talking about chasing that number 1 seed, and a long way to go. But I think the Chiefs want to pound the Raiders early and often this weekend.
Yeah, AFC looks pretty open. 3 losses does not sound like the end of the world anymore, and the Chiefs are back. Mahomes finally has someone to go to in Xavier Worthy, and Rashee Rice returns this week. They're in good shape against the Raiders. Why? Because the Raiders stink. The Chiefs are going to pour it on them. I take the Chiefs for sure this week to cover.
Look at that number, Subi, 11.5 in the NFL. I don't care who you are. That's kind of a yucky number that you don't really want a part of most weeks.
It's a terrible number in general, but it's a division rivalry game. No matter what, those are always tight games. But the Raiders are so bad. Their 2 wins are against the Mike Vrabel debut at the Patriots and the Titans, who just fired their coach. The Chiefs are hitting on all strides right now. I think they can comfortably win this game.
Boy, that whenever you come back, whether you're Bill Belichick or Pete Carroll, it doesn't seem like it used to be, huh, Mikey? The old days?
Coach, I'm sorry. I'm very sorry. Because, I'm very happy we're getting Rashee Rice back, and I think we're going to be amazing now moving forward. Watch out, NFL.
What
I want to hide.
What was that?
Patrick Mahomes is here.
That was your Patrick Mahomes impersonation? I honestly thought it was Kermit the Frog or what's the green one on Sesame Street? The green one that talks with the whole mouth?
Oscar?
No, that's Oscar the Grouch. Well, not. Anyway, I got to move on. That was so awkward. Anybody else? All right, let's go to let me look at my notes. Eagles and the Vikings. That's where we're going next. Hard left. The Eagles clearly, Peyton, have work to do because Soupy's team, they laid it on them last week in the Meadowlands, and now they're still a first-place team because the Commanders can't beat the Bears and the Cowboys can't beat the Panthers. So all of a sudden, they're playing in a division that stinks. Are the Vikings getting the Eagles at the right time?
Well, they are, yeah. And when Soupy's team beats somebody, that's a bad look. And the Eagles have looked bad. With Minnesota, they just can't move the football right now. With Carson Wentz, but Philly just 2-point favorites. I mean, I would take it. I think they bounce back and win this game by a touchdown. However, I did say they'd bounce back last week, but Minnesota really can't move the football. I think they have trouble moving against the Eagles' defense. I'd take the Eagles to cover.
That's kind of where I went. Is I was like, wait, the Vikings haven't been that good, and I think the Eagles aren't that good either. But Soupy, I think they're better than 2 points better than the Vikings.
I don't even know right now. This passing game just looks so stale, and you're not giving the ball to Saquon. Even if you're down multiple possessions. Why aren't you giving the ball to Saquon? He's your best playmaker. And now they're going to go against the Vikings, who are top 5 in points allowed and yards allowed. This is going to be a tough game to watch. I think the Vikings come through with this game. I do.
Maybe we pull a Zeno and we just place the bet and we don't watch. Maybe that's what we need to do. All right. This one scares me. Mikey, your thoughts?
All right. So I do like the Eagles on this one. I like them with the points. I think the Eagles will easily handle the Vikings. I know there's questions about Carson Wentz's his health and JJ McCarthy and his health. So the Vikings could be looking at starting Max Brosmer as their quarterback if the other two do not get. So this is an easy Eagles game for me.
Wow. I didn't even know that was an option for the Vikings, to be quite honest with you. There are so many quarterbacks out there. If you don't have 2, you have 0. If you don't have 3 these days, you have 0. My goodness. All right, let's pivot to another good one. Who would have known that the Indianapolis Colts would be tied for the best record in all of football? There's no more undefeated teams. They're 5-1. Danny Dimes, all of a sudden, Peyton, is an all-pro. And they've got a very reliable running back when he holds onto the ball all the way into the end zone in Jonathan Taylor. So the Chargers, on the other hand, they're like putting Band-Aids on everything. Big game for both, but yet the Chargers, Peyton, are the favorite here, at least on Tuesday.
Yeah, I don't agree with it. Danny Dimes has been fantastic. Jonathan Taylor has been fantastic as well. Danny Dimes just got me through my 6th week of survivor pool football. So let's just blow clap there.
Oh, wow. You got to be sweating that a little bit. Admit it.
Without question. They were just it was a shootout. They were just trading. Whoever got the ball last was going to win that game.
Who would have thought the Cardinals would be the team that would knock you out potentially? But you survived, and that's the whole business of a survivor pool. Soupy, let me come over to you, because the Chargers feel like they're just kind of hanging on. They're tied for first with the Denver Broncos, 1 game ahead of the Kansas City Chiefs, but they don't feel like a first-place team to me. To you?
Not right now, just with all the injuries. And this is going to be a tough matchup. The Colts look like one of the best teams in the league, and they are going to run it down Los Angeles' throat. They're 28th in rushing yards allowed, and now you have Jonathan Taylor, who's leading the league in rushing yards, along with Danny Dollars, who can run the ball himself. I think the Colts come through. I'm putting them on the money line in this game.
You think Danny Dimes walks around the house right now, chest out, going, screw the Giants, screw New York, screw those fans. I love living in the Midwest, Mikey.
Yeah, good for Danny Dimes. It's funny how a lot of these quarterbacks who were taken for the East Coast teams and Baker Mayfield all went new places and had better success. I like the Colts on the money line here as well. Listen, this is why we can't crown people after 1 or 2 weeks. Talking to you, Los Angeles Chargers fans. The Colts are a real team. I think they're a real threat. I don't know that they're a AFC title contender threat, but they're a team that's really going to make you hate playing them during the regular season.
All right, last game, and I got about 15 seconds to piggyback for everybody, and this is the big one. This is the Bucks. This is the Lions. It's going to be a featured game this week. So let's quickly, 15 seconds, Peyton, start with you.
Yeah, Detroit looked awful on Sunday night, but with a lot of their guys out as well, so can they hold Baker and the Bucks? I don't think they can. I'd take Baker to cover here on a last-minute drive from Baker.
I just think the injuries for the Buccaneers is too much. Baker doesn't have any of his wide receivers, doesn't have his top running back. I think the Lions are still going to be able to come through with this game.
You know who Baker has? Baker Mayfield. Baker Mayfield will solidify his MVP candidacy with a win over Detroit in this game.
And probably by Monday, you'll have all of your paperwork back from now being the president of the Baker Mayfield fan club. So that's going to be good for the show, that you're going to have that new job by Monday. Because nobody loves them some Baker like Mikey P. Still MVP, Mikey P.
Yeah,
I don't feel like you and I are on the same page today. I don't know what it is. It's a little awkward. A little awkward. I don't know. Coming up on the other side, a big one on the diamond today, and I'll work things out with Mikey. Don't even worry about it. Dodgers, Brewers. 2-0 Dodgers. Come on back. Stadium, Valley Sports Live. All right, we continue on here on our YouTube page. And gentlemen, last night down there in hot Atlanta while people were eating Chick-fil-A. They're watching their team take out the Buffalo Bills. 2 straight losses now for Buffalo, the previous betting favorite. So, Raphael, I got to talk with you because Michael Penix said after the game, this win proves that we, the Falcons, are, quote, legit. Does it?
Yeah, it does, because we were talking about who Tampa Bay plays next, the Detroit Lions. I mean, the Panthers have been a good story in that division too. So if you're Atlanta coming off a big win, you're back in the game for the division.
Back in the game. Mikey, are they legit?
No, and Michael Penix isn't even legit. He should be happy Bijan Robinson is on his team. You know what the Falcons are? They have a pulse in a very bad division. That's great, Michael Penix. Look up the definition of legit.
He had a couple where he threw the ball like straight into the ground. I was like, you're not there yet. Peyton, are they legit?
No, you can't say that because of how awful the Bills looked last night. They just didn't look like they wanted to be there and play. But credit the Falcons because they wanted last night's game. After every tackle, it was like a 4th down stop. They were so pumped up and more fired up than anyone was Raheem Morris. I thought he was going to throw pads on last night. But sure, was it a legit win? It was a legit win. But does that make the Falcons legit? No.
It's the first time I've ever understood why he gets head coaching gigs. I was like, what makes this guy so great? Then you see the interview. You see him, hey, Peter, looking great, man, from NFL Network, ESPN. Now, I got you. I'm like, this dude, people love this guy, right, Soupy?
And they do. And if you love somebody and he brings a winning culture, that's all you need. Do I think the Falcons are legit? Not yet. I still think it's Tampa Bay in that. But Tampa Bay, if they start losing, the Falcons start winning, and I think Carolina's good. This is going to be a fun division to watch this year.
It really, I love when these things happen. I love when what we think. Now, it's not always fun for betting, which is why you haven't seen anybody going, hey, I'm hitting 80%. Everybody's struggling with their picks because look at the records. We use data. That's why sometimes you got to go with your gut because the data right now, yeah. That's why everybody's struggling. But we stay in it, boys. We stay in it. Back. 5 seconds. All right, you crazy cats out there. We continue on. Just one game tonight on the Diamond, and that is the Dodgers and the Brewers. Last night, Blake Snell was amazing. If you bet his overs, he had everything. Over his outs, over his strikeouts, 1 hit allowed in the entire game. They took him out in the 9th. They nearly blew it. Dave, don't do that next time. So now tonight, the Dodgers are a -125 favorite. That over at BetMGM. Yamamoto is facing Freddie Peralta. So, young Peyton, I'm going to start with you because Peralta has really been a stopper. And this is probably horrible betting advice, but in the playoffs, I always look at the run line first because the games usually are very, very close. Look at last night. It was a 1-run game, and right now it's only -175 if you want to get the Brewers +1.5 with Peralta. Your thoughts?
Yeah, it could have been a tie game in the 9th, too. If Bryce Terang would let the ball hit him, God, the game would have been tied. Instead, you swung at a pitch over your head. So not a good at-bat from Bryce Terang to end the game last night, but the Brewers waited too long to get traffic on the base pass. Blake Snell was sensational again. When he's on, he's the best pitcher in the game, and he was on last night. The Brewers need Freddie Peralta to be on tonight, and he dominates at home, a 1.77 ERA in his own building this year. I think he gets it done tonight for the Brewers, and the Brewers win this game.
So let me come over to you, Raphael, when we talk about the numbers. I love the analysis from Peyton, but are the numbers right enough to get action on both sides?
I think so, because bettors are going to realize Peralta didn't look good against the Cubs at Wrigley. The Cubs hit him pretty hard. Last time he's played the Dodgers, he didn't even see the 6th inning. So I think if you can get to the Brewers bullpen or the Dodgers bullpen, what we saw last night, I think the Brewers can maybe sneak one. Love the +1.5 if this number comes down. I would say maybe take it at -160 or lower, not -175. But so much Dodger money will come in that Brewer run line will come down.
Wow. So how far, Mikey, would it have to come down for you to play that run line?
Listen, I'm all in on the Brewers in this one. It doesn't matter for me because I think Freddie Peralta, as bad as he may have been against the Cubs, as bad as he may have been against the Dodgers, the way we're talking about Blake Snell in last night's game, I think we'll be talking about Freddie Peralta having a similar performance coming in tomorrow morning on the show.
Soupy, what do you make of that take?
I think of the opposite. I think the Dodgers are going to go up 2-0. The Brewers right now, if this was earlier, last night's game was earlier in the NLDS when they were actually hitting, and they would have won that game. Right now, they are just not hitting the ball. I don't think that they're going to be good enough against Yamamoto. I think the Dodgers bullpen will be better, and I think the Dodgers are 2-0 going back to LA.
All right, raise your hand if you think the Dodgers win tonight. And if you think the Brewers win tonight. Wow. Okay, 3-2.
I think the game goes
Very
over too.
You think the game goes over? Interesting. Is it one of those low-scoring first 5, and then when we get to the bullpens, that's when the runs come? So maybe later, like full game total. We don't want to hit the first 5.
I think we're going to see the same game we saw yesterday in Toronto. Early runs. Maybe these pitchers don't see the third inning.
Okay, maybe play their under outs. Maybe fade their outs today. Something, because I think normally the number is around 17 to 19 on outs when it comes to these starters. All right, boys, a lot of information for the good people at home to digest, and then you make the choice for yourself. All right, a lot of you were not here at the top of the hour. We get that. You got jobs, you got a life, and hours a long time. But that's why we always go back and recap our picks, because after the day we had yesterday, I'm putting my foot down today. It's going to be a winning day. I feel good about it. Let's lock it in. All right, 10 seconds or less, just 1 or 2 nuggets is all that I need. Raphael, let's start with you. Let's go.
We take Arkansas State team total over 24.5. They won their last game. They scored 31 points. I think we're going to see a high scoring game with a total being around 60 when it closes. And then in the NHL, giving the Dallas Stars minus 135 on the 3-way. They have beaten Minnesota 4 of their last 5 games at home. I see another home W.
Boom and boom. Soupy, talk to me.
Western Kentucky minus 10. FIU's inability to pass, I think, is going to hurt them in this game. Kentucky is just going to start to build on a lead, and FIU is not going to be able to come back. And then I'm going with Yamamoto under 1.5 earned runs, 2.13 ERA on the road. And the Brewers, they've scored just 6 runs in the last 4 games. There is something wrong with that Brewers offense right now.
Young Peyton, let's go to you.
2+ money plays. We're going Stars Leafs both on the money lines because they're both at home playing teams who are coming off back-to-backs. And we got the Brewers with Freddie P on the mound in Milwaukee. They take game 2 tonight.
Mr. Mikey P.
Give me Florida International and Western Kentucky. First half total over 28.5. Western Kentucky allows 22 points a game. They also score 34 points a game. And then because it is Tuesday night college football, give me Arkansas State and South Alabama over 58.5 at a minus 115.
All right. And every single day we try to make you a little bit smarter. Raphael.
We're going to the frozen pond. The Anaheim Ducks have won each of their last 9 home openers. Make it a 10th spot tonight.
All righty. By the way, Brewers' Bryce Terang explains backing away from game-tying hit by pitch. That's a headline right now at ESPN. Peyton, should he have to answer these questions moving forward?
Yeah, what's he going to say? Oh, it would have hurt if I let it hit me. Come on. What are we doing? That was for the game. That was for the game, man. I really think he should have taken that pitch. It was literally coming in on his knee. All he's got to do is stand there.
All you got to do is stand there or turn into it and give it to the meat, Soupy. You got it. It's got to be in your mind that if it's coming at you, you just grit your teeth and you take it, yes?
I have been hit with a baseball many a times. Yes, it does hurt, but in a pivotal game like that, if you have that opportunity, take it on the backside.
Take it on the backside. Mikey P, we didn't even hit on it today. Titans fire their head coach, Callahan. They only gave him a year and 5 games, 6 games? Is that long enough when you inherit a team that's terrible?
I need these NFL franchises to start lining up their head coaches and their GMs and their number 1 picks. This is the 3rd straight year that a number 1 overall pick loses their head coach during the rookie season.
Raphael, if you have to continue to do odds on coaching and coaching changes, apparently these owners don't care about the millions of dollars they're paying out for nothing.
These owners don't care about me working all the time. I still got to do the San Diego Padres, who lost their head coach yesterday as well. So it's just nonstop.
It is absolutely nonstop. All right, let's go around. What are we going to have the TVs on tonight? Because we got a lot of things. NBA starting next Tuesday. Fired up for the Lakers. No LeBron James. Peyton, tonight, what are we watching?
Dodgers Brewers without question.
Soupy, what are you watching tonight?
I will be watching Dodgers Brewers, and I'll have the college football on also.
Yeah, 3 games to look at. Mikey P, where are you going?
I know there's NLCS game too. I know there's a lot of hockey, but if you're not watching Arkansas State and South Alabama, what are you doing? College football's on a Tuesday. I'm watching college football.
It does feel that way. Premium pop-up tomorrow night, not tonight, unless you guys get crazy. Raphael, what are you watching tonight?
TV one on sound, baseball game. Last 2 TVs would be college football, and then the rest, NHL.
There you go. Gentlemen, well done today. Producer man, I need that one shot. A quick reminder, if you missed any of the Coach and Bro show yesterday, tons of pro wrestling news out there. I encourage you, go to our BTT YouTube page. We're going to be live right here on Stadium Thursday morning at 11 a.m. Eastern time, so we have you covered there. Also, if you have SiriusXM, 2 to 4 Eastern time today. Every day it's Off the Ropes with your boy, the Coach. And we talk everything pro wrestling. So I encourage you to do all of that. And then also, let's hit those bets today because I feel like we need to. So it's now time for you to go out into the world, for you to pay it forward, for you to be kind to one another. And understand this. There's only one thing left to do. And I believe you all know what that is. You've got your marching orders. Let's take all of these tickets straight to the pay window. My entire team, damn it, do I love them all. My man Mikey P, Young Peyton, Soupy, Raphael, and producer man always behind the scenes making the show look like $1 million. We grind for you so we can win with you. It's what we're always about every single day. Don't forget, Coach and Company Podcast, 11:15 a.m. Eastern time, every day right here on Stadium and Bally Sports Live. Have a great day. We'll see you tomorrow.